Karen called the cops while I was moving in. Too bad the deed has my name all over it. The sun beat down on the quiet cul-de-sac, but the air crackled with anything but peace. I stood on the lawn of my new home, clutching the deed that bore my name, Amara Johnson, bold, undeniable ink. Sweat trickled down my back as I directed the movers, each box a step toward a fresh start after years of saving. Then she appeared, Karen, the neighborhood's self-appointed gatekeeper, marching across the street with a phone glued to her ear. Her voice was a shrill blade cutting through the morning. "Yes, officer. There's a stranger breaking into 1427 Maple Drive." "Hurry!" I froze, disbelief warring with rage. Breaking in? This was my house. I'd spent months navigating shady realtors and bank hoops to secure it. Karen's eyes locked onto mine, her lips curling into a smug challenge. "You don't belong here," she hissed, loud enough for the gathering neighbors to hear. The movers paused, uneasy, as whispers rippled through the crowd. I felt the weight of every stare, each one a silent accusation. "Ma'am," I said, holding up the deed, my voice steady despite the fire in my chest. "This is my property. I closed last week." Karen scoffed, undeterred. "I've lived here 20 years. I know the owners. You're not them." Her words stung, laced with an assumption I'd faced too many times before. I was ready to fire back when a patrol car rolled up, lights flashing. The officer, a grizzled man named Hayes, stepped out, his face unreadable. Karen launched into her tale, painting me as a trespasser with theatrical flair. I handed Hayes the deed, my hands trembling but my gaze firm. He scanned it, then looked at Karen. "This checks out. She's the owner." Karen's face contorted, her voice rising. "That's impossible. This house belongs to the Millers." The crowd murmured, and I caught snippets: distrust, confusion, and something uglier. Then came the twist. A frail voice cut through the noise. Mrs. Lopez, an elderly neighbor I hadn't noticed, shuffled forward, her cane tapping the pavement. "Karen," she said softly, "you know the Millers sold this place months ago. I told you at book club." The crowd fell silent. Karen's eyes widened, her bravado deflating. Mrs. Lopez turned to me, her voice kind but firm. "Welcome, dear. Don't mind her. She's been lonely since her daughter moved away." The revelation hit like a quiet bomb. Karen wasn't just known. Her crusade wasn't about the house. It was about control, about resentment. Hayes sighed, tipping his hat to me. "You're good to go settle in." Karen stood rooted, her phone slipping to the grass, her face pale. The neighbors dispersed, some casting apologetic glances, others avoiding my eyes. I wanted to feel victorious, but all I felt was exhaustion. As the movers resumed, I unpacked not just boxes but the weight of my new reality. Karen's outburst wasn't personal, but it was personal to me. It was about who got to claim space, who got to belong. I thought about Mrs. Lopez's words, loneliness driving spite. I saw Karen later that week, sitting alone on her porch, staring at my house. Part of me wanted to confront her, to demand why. Another part, quieter but heavier, wondered if she'd ever understand each other. The days passed, and the neighborhood settled into a wary calm. I planted flowers, waved to Mrs. Lopez, and tried to build a life. But the deed in my drawer felt like a shield, a reminder that belonging had to be defended. Karen never apologized. She didn't need to. Her silence was its own confession. The bitter truth sank in. Victory didn't erase the divide. My home was mine, but the community around it was fractured, shaped by assumptions and unspoken fears. I learned the Millers had left abruptly, never telling Karen, their old friend, they'd sold. Her anger wasn't just at might, was at change, at being left behind. It didn't excuse her, but it humanized her. I wondered if I'd ever find peace here, or if every hello would carry the echo of that day. The house was mine, but the neighborhood was ours, tangled in its own quiet wars. What would you do when a neighbor's fear turns your home into a battlefield? Share your thoughts on justice and community.